to another episode of Me Dark Presents Scary Movie Madness.
What is it, 32?
32.
It's kind of shitty that we missed 31 being the Halloween episode for the 31st.
I know, that does suck. Damn
it's
it.
real shitty. Should have just skipped that last one, canceled it. And
I'm going to go back. I'm going to name them episode 30A and episode 30B.
Just to be able to do that.
So this one can be 31, but it's 32.
But then we got to re-record the audio and shit.
Well, I don't know what to tell. That's it. Like, we've missed our chance on this.
We did.
Like, you're just bringing this up now.
I know.
Like, we just started the pod and you brought up this idea. Like, you could have mentioned this.
I can't think of everything.
Whatever. But this is coming out the week of Happy Halloween.
The week of Happy Halloween.
The week of Halloween.
Well, it's the week of Happy Halloween is on its way, y'all. I was
technically, I'm not wrong.
So I was reading that just brought up a really funny thing, actually. So I oversee a global retail org of operations.
This is riveting stuff.
It is. No, it gets better. So I've been talking a lot about Halloween because they all know how much I love this stuff.
Right. Everybody knows that we're obsessed.
Everybody. Like, everyone at work is like, Dolores, let's see your house. Like, everybody loves it. I mean, I don't know if everybody loves it, but some people entertain me enough. But my UK team, I learned how Halloween isn't a thing outside of America.
Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah. See? I just blew your mind, Mr. Oh, this is real riveting.
Wait, hold on. They don't celebrate Halloween?
They do, but not like this. Like, they are like the cute little ghosts and the happy pumpkins and like real
so they don't do
cutesy.
Anything frightening.
They're definitely not doing what we're doing. So
then why are their horror movies so brutal?
I'm very confused by this. So I saw actually a post, I think it was a BuzzFeed thing, and it was like running through Twitter tweets of like people from like UK and stuff, like asking questions of Americans about Halloween. It's like, do people really say happy Halloween? It's Halloween. HA, just so we're clear. Then there were other things of like, why do people really celebrate, or do Americans really celebrate it for 30 days? It's a one-day event and it's at night. And it's like, okay, but Christmas is a one-day event at night, and there's fucking trees in every store right now, and it's not even Halloween yet.
Yeah.
So, like, why are you mad at me for my 30 days of Halloween?
That's a stupid excuse.
Anyway, it's this cultural difference that I didn't know existed.
I didn't know either.
And it is now my global purpose to celebrate Halloween so massively.
You'll spread it.
That everybody else wants to do it.
To all corners of the globe.
100%. Like, nobody does Halloween like we do as civilians. And I say civilians just because, there's a budget involved.
All right. Well, in the spirit of Halloween, we're going to be taking a look at the Halloween movies because they've changed them again.
Not only have they changed them, they want to rewrite history and just go, all those real shit ones that we did?
Just forget it happened. Busta Rhymes is no longer in the lore.
Never should have been.
Well, listen. It's not Busta Rhymes' fault that he was thrust into that film. His agent found that for him, and he was like, you know what? This sounds dope. I'll do this.
It was not.
That was the one where, honestly, that movie, let's dig into that one a little bit, because
I don't even think I remember it because it was that bad. Like, my brain didn't want to hold a place for those memories. It was like,
I'm going to go off memory on this one. I could be thinking of a totally different Halloween.
I'm not going to be able to contribute.
But I'm pretty sure the Busta Rhymes one was when there was like a film crew or a haunted house crew or something that rented or took over Mike Myers' old house, and they put hidden cameras everywhere. And they basically challenged everybody, or they challenged a group of people to spend Halloween night in the Myers house, and they were going to film it and stream it online.
It sounds like a shitty movie that I would have forgotten.
See, I think that's a dope concept, though.
No.
I don't know why.
It's just Paranormal Activity, but with Mike Myers.
Yeah, I guess what's probably stupid about it is how Mike Myers happens to get to the house in the first place. But
which is always...
just the logistics of Mike Myers, and it continues on in this reimagining. It's so stupid. Like, it could be smarter.
Is he human or is he not?
But not
is
only
he
that,
a
like,
massively murderous...
How they always get him back to the town somehow. Like, the logistics of that, it just never makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like the 2018 one.
That's the one we're going to talk about first. And by the way,
right.
they also named this movie Halloween. Before I get into this, the concept now is
Here we go.
They've gone all the way back to the 1978 Halloween. And then they decided, let's skip every other thing that we've done in between. Just go right to present day, as if Laurie Strode is now, she's now a grandmother. She's had a daughter. Her daughter has a daughter. There's generations now of Strode. Okay. And she's still, the whole premise here is that she's still hung up on this one attack from when she was a kid decades ago. She spent her life like in solitary, training her daughter even to fight the potential of Mike Myers coming back now for decades. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, because it makes sense when it was like, oh, here's like 10 different years that he came back and is terrorizing us. But now it's just like, no, I've just been paranoid ever since and stopped living my life.
Do you think one event like this, now granted, I will grant you that this is a traumatic event that she experiences in 1978. But you think at this stage in her life, she would still carry that with her? That she would have a daughter and carry that with her and then project that insecurity and anxiety onto her daughter as well.
I mean, we're talking 40 years.
That's a long ass time.
Yeah, that's a long ass time. 2 years of COVID is a long ass time.
I feel like people are more traumatized from COVID than she would be with this one freaking night.
Yes. Reading about our neighborhood, paranoid to give kids candy on Halloween.
Now, I will say they do kind of address it and poke fun at themselves because there is that one scene with one of the kids where he's like, I get it. You know, it was horrible that, 4 people died in suburbia on Halloween night 40 years ago. He's like, but by today's standards, it's not that big of a tragedy.
Yeah, no, facts. Straight up facts.
So anyway. let's dive into it because there was, this one is directed by David Gordon Green. Mm-hmm. So this guy did Pineapple Express, Your Highness. He did the movie Joe with my boy Nick Cage. Oh, God. He also did Eastbound and Down, right? Because at the end of the opening credits,
the only movie I've watched in any of these is Pineapple Express.
Anyway.
But keep going.
The end of, when the credits were on, and I was glued to the credits, by the way, because first of all, they nailed the opening credits scene with the time lapse of the rotting pumpkin.
Yeah, it looks so dope.
It's so vintagey. It transported me right back to 1978. Mm-hmm. Like that whole opening sequence, how simple it is. It's just like, I love this. This is like how you start a horror movie. With that music too, I was pumped.
Yeah, they definitely nail that part of it for sure.
But at the end of the credits, a writing credit, Danny McBride. And I said, there's
just
no
threw
way.
You for a loop.
I said, there's no way that's the Danny McBride I'm thinking of, right? You're like, no, it's probably not. And we looked it up and it's freaking Danny McBride, which would explain, I guess he has a connection to David Gordon Green. He was in all of these movies.
Yeah. And when you think about it, like watching it, because this was the second time, I guess, that we watched this one, right?
Yeah, because we saw it in the theater when it came out.
We probably saw it 3 times then, because I think we watched it last year too.
Probably.
So now when you look back and you realize like he was a writer, you find those jokes that were definitely Danny McBride jokes.
I did. I started pointing them out. I'm like, Danny McBride wrote
100%,
that. Yeah.
100%. I would put money on it.
It is there are characters in this that are really funny. Like the little kid that gets babysat.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We'll get to
Danny
him.
McBride wrote all of that.
Definitely. That whole banter between them is actually really funny.
It's so, like, that kid is great. But then there was the other kid and it's like, you're annoying and can't act.
Which other kid? Oh, we'll get to him too. My God, it was terrible. It was terrible. It was painful. Yes.
I'm like, and it's so early.
Yeah.
For it to be bad acting, you're like, oh, this is going to be terrible. But then the other kid saves it.
Yes. What do you think of how they open this? They open this with the podcasters they go to visit Michael in the institution that he's been kept in all this time. Mm-hmm. And it's just so fitting. Like they have British accents. They're doing a journalism podcast on the story of Michael Myers.
What is that about? Like, you want like the smart, classy people to always be British randomly. Like, these are the people coming in there. They have such a worldly view of Michael Myers.
Honestly, it would have been. Yeah, it would have been more fitting. I think
they're in America.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of these podcasts, these true crime podcast things,
Yeah.
I feel like this is exclusively like an American thing.
Right, like true crime
The
is...
podcasts are always hosted by an American.
Listen,
it's
it's
never...
all the jokes about like white girls who love serial killers, right? You're like, oh, I'm chilling at home, but you're really just like watching murderers in bed so that you can sleep tonight. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But it's like definitely a joke in culture right now that it's like a white person thing in America. Like
It
that we
definitely
love
is.
serial killer stuff.
Love true
I'm not gonna
crime.
lie, I do.
Yeah, I do love true crime
I'm
stuff.
not mad at it. It's a real stereotype.
It would have been way funnier if the journalists or the podcasters would have been like two white ladies.
Yes.
Yeah.
And someone's infatuated
And
with
they're
Mike
just-
Myers, and she's like, I just
yeah.
want to see his face.
They're just trying to unravel the mystery.
Mm-hmm. Or unmask him, because this journalist is like wanting to see like
Show me your face.
behind the mask. Show me your face. But this scene, I actually love
You like it? Yeah.
this scene.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what they do with that opening scene really sets you up to be like, yo, this is gonna be lit.
Mm-hmm.
The suspense, the tension of like just the way his presence commands all the people in the institution to act out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is there something more terrifying than like a group of that many people who are clearly deemed out of control, right? They are
Yep.
people who are a danger to society.
And
Not
Michael is the
saying
king
all-
of them all.
Yeah, not saying all mental health patients are a danger to society,
I
but
think
these are
it's
the...
fair to assume that these are violent.
Oh, yeah,
people,
yeah. I'm saying like they have like areas cut out about like how close you can get.
Don't go near this.
Yeah,
person.
don't get too close. Don't do this. Don't do that. So these are the violent people who, you know, really can't be in society. And it's so clear that he has a presence that just riles them up. And the way that they do it in this scene,
It's shot really
the slow
well.
build, the podcasters talking to him, right? The doctor being there, all together, it's a terrifying scene.
Yeah,
It's as good as the opening to Scream.
No,
gonna say
I
that.
wouldn't say that.
Yep, I'm going to say
No, I
it.
don't
In a
think
different way, I think
think it
it's
hits
an
that
opening
high.
movie that's like up there.
It's definitely really cool. I do like how it sets the stage for this premise, and I like how they modernize it with the podcast. If this was a real story, if Michael Myers was real, 100% somebody would do a true crime podcast on it.
Oh,
which I love.
100%.
Yeah.
Probably us.
So they end up going to Laurie Strode after this because obviously they have to interview her for the podcast. They offer her some money, and we get the first glimpse of her
How crazy.
surroundings, her environment. Like, she's got a whole thing going on.
You don't even know the extent of it, though, at this point. It's just like an idea.
You don't. It's just an
little
idea. Like,
trickle.
you get all the locks and bars and stuff just that
That's
she
your
has
first
on her
hint.
front door when they first get there is like, oh wow, she's in like Fort Knox.
Yeah. Yep.
But I do love. I love how he kills the podcasters though. Like, that's one of my favorite scenes, I think, in the movie.
The bathroom with the girl.
Bathroom scene at the gas station set piece. I love.
Mm-hmm.
I love. Yeah, the girl going into the bathroom and
Again, super tense.
yeah, the suspense behind that is really well done. I like how we see her partner, the guy podcaster. He kind of notices that something's up. He goes and explores the gas station. He sees the attendant has been like, his jaw's been like almost ripped off his head. Like, Michael Myers is 10 times more violent in this movie than I've ever seen him.
He's like super savage. It's not about Michael Myers with a knife. It's also like,
Brutal.
what do those hands do? Like, a lot.
And then when he does go into the bathroom to stalk the woman, he drops the guy's teeth.
Oh, that's the best.
That's the best.
Because that scene is so tense, almost like where in her mind she's in the bathroom and something is sixth sensing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Creeping her out. She doesn't know for sure that it's Mike Myers. She's just like, what the fuck is this person doing creeping around?
Right.
And she's just like, I'm in here. And I'm like, girl, that ain't doing shit. And then,
Yeah, no, it was not doing anything.
like, if someone's coming to kill your ass, bitch, telling them you're taking a shit isn't stopping them. Like, I don't know.
The worst thing possible, though. She's in a stall that's locked.
Yep.
Like, he's struggling to get in, even.
Yeah. Which, again, doesn't even
Which
rip
doesn't make any
someone's
sense.
jaw
Like,
off
Mike
their
Myers
face.
can rip this door
Yeah.
off. He would have eventually.
Could've kicked
I
it
get
open.
that. But I'm not leaving that stall until he does get it open, and I'm going to try to maybe bum
Get
rush
around
him and run out. That's my fastest path. She's like, no, I'll just go to the next. I'm going to crawl under the stall
like he can't fucking
as
see
if he's not going to see you do that. And that stall's not locked.
Yeah, no. Nope.
Horrendous.
Stupid.
And then when the guy finally comes in, he just bashes his head up against the wall like a million times.
I mean, again, there's some good kills here. Again, this is why you like Halloween, is because Mike Myers kills are like something you're waiting to see.
Yeah.
Every time.
Oh my God. The kills in this movie overall are just, I love them. They're great.
There's a lot of really good ones. And again, it's the suspense. There's some really great suspenseful moments that don't draw out too long. They're all just enough. And I think that is the magic of why Mike Myers is one of the most terrifying slashers of all time.
Yeah. So going back to what I was talking about earlier about the logistics of Michael Myers and how they always manage to like get him back to the town. So
get him back to the town.
So he can kill people.
But this is the one that really gets me.
Okay.
Because this is where I said, like, oh, he just knows how to drive. Right?
I guess. Do we know he takes it? Well, first of all.
Yeah, he takes a car.
Let's rewind even.
In this.
Because they're transporting him for some reason.
Yeah.
On a bus. Right? And it's like, okay, why would you ever risk transporting Mike Myers? And if you do, if you have to, why are you transporting him
sedate his ass
with other prisoners on a bus? Why don't you sedate him? And why isn't he surrounded by 6 guards at all time?
I don't even think it would matter.
With a loaded weapon.
Destroy those guards.
But I'm just saying, like, just why isn't that the first setup?
Also, why is he alive?
Well,
he killed multiple people.
I don't know.
And doesn't speak and doesn't respond to anything. Like, that is a psychopath defined. But anyway.
But all of that. Let's say they do.
I know.
That. Why of all nights would you choose to transport Michael Myers on Halloween
with a?
Like, I was like, this is so stupid.
You basically took him and his squad and were like, we're going for a joyride, bitch.
On Halloween.
Whoop, whoop. Like, you might as well have been on the bus, chanting songs, riling them up to, like, make it happen. Like, it's like a bunch of school kids going on a field trip.
Yeah, I mean, as much there's very cool shit in this movie, and I don't want to shit on this movie too hard because there are things about it that I like, but this whole mechanism is so flawed and stupid. Like, if you don't stop and think about it, you're better off because you're just like, I'm just going for the ride.
No.
But if you stop and you think about what the hell this setup is to get him free for Halloween, it is so lazy. It is so.
It's the difference between watching it the first time and being excited for Halloween, and then watching it the second and third time, and then that's when those things start to go like, all right. So again, he gets out of this bus, right? Fine. Maybe you think he doesn't drive, but I'm pretty sure there's a scene in this one where he is driving, and they see him driving. But
yeah, we've seen him drive actually in the first one.
Yeah. So where the fuck did he learn to drive?
Well, we knew he drove from the first one. He's in the car in that movie too.
Where? Where did he learn that?
I don't know.
Exactly.
He just figured it out.
He figured it out. We're not talking GPS time either, okay? So he gets in this car. He's in a mental institute. He somehow knows exactly the way there. Exactly.
He knows exactly where to go.
He knows where to go. He knows how to drive the vehicle at night. Forget any, like, identifying points of interest because it's nighttime and it's dark. Somehow, he just gets there. That's the most unbelievable thing to me, is like, it makes no sense. Unless that mental institution is up the street.
None of it made any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
No. But nonetheless, Michael Myers is loose, and it's Halloween night. Because why not?
And not only is he loose, but all the other
crazies are loose. But no, we're not concerned about them. Like, they've served their purpose.
No, because then they're the one guy gets mistaken for Mike Myers. That's why the others are loose.
That's true. There's that whole
See, Mark,
subplot.
you're not paying attention.
You know what? I wasn't into that.
I caught it though. Just saying. It's the bait and switch.
So this brings us to our poor acting thing that we mentioned, the father and son combo, right?
Yep.
And it's such a shame too, because number one, it's not the dynamic between the father and son is not well written, right?
No.
So it's not like these actors have a lot to go off of. So in all fairness to them, like, it's not like the writers even attempted to build like a tender bond between the father and son, so they actually like gave us a reason to care about them. Like, God forbid we care about
but you
characters.
could have just done that like generically.
But I'm just saying, like, if you're going to introduce these characters to just get killed, we do have this moment in the car of them together that could have been written in such a way where you and I connected to those characters and we felt a connection to them, where it's like, oh, I hope nothing bad happens to them. And because, of course, then they show up to the bus crash and Mike Myers offs them both. But there's just nothing for the scene, and the acting is so bad.
That kid is terrible.
Is terrible.
Sorry, kid. Hopefully you got some lessons out of this because you got paid, but
oh my goodness,
it wasn't it.
Whatever. I'm sure he's a good kid, and I'm sure he did everything he could. They really didn't give him anything.
Fair enough.
Like, in fairness to him, he had nothing to work with.
Yeah, but it was bad.
So I don't know. What do you think of the new doctor character that they bring in? This guy, he's supposed to, I took him as a replacement for Dr. Loomis. I'm like, okay, this is now a modern version of like the Dr. Loomis guy.
But then it's the twist.
Yeah, what is up with that? What do you think about it?
I mean, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about with like the obsession with serial killers, right? Like, this guy is that idea, that pinnacle of that, where he's so obsessed with it that like he wants him to act out. Like, it's his goal to have him act out because he wants to see the why, right? Like, he wants to see what really puts behind him, what's really behind, you know, his actions. I think it goes back to also like what you're saying, like, why would you transport him on Halloween? Why wouldn't you sedate him? Probably the doctor had something to do with it. Like, he wanted it to happen.
That's a fair point. I never really considered that maybe the doctor had a hand in arranging that whole thing.
Yeah, it feels like bringing the podcasters there. Like, it's all tied where he wanted him out because his goal was to get him to Laurie Strode so he could continue his study. He knew he wasn't going to get anything else out of Mike Myers without Laurie Strode.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of a stretch, but I could see how you can connect those dots and have everything else make a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
I think that's
maniacal.
a fine way. Yeah, it's a fine way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like him. I like the actor. I thought for the most part, a lot of this movie is really well casted.
Yeah.
I thought that it was a little weird that the casting of Judy Greer's husband. Judy Greer plays Karen.
So old.
She's 9 years younger than him in real life.
He looks way older.
He doesn't. Yeah, he looks way older than that.
It looks like he should be with her mother.
It looks like he's closer to Jamie Lee Curtis's age. Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was a little weird, but he's good. Like, I like the actor. I think they do an awesome. There's an awesome scene of the family dinner, like right as I guess the daughter's graduating or whatever.
Yeah.
But that is so well acted and so well paced.
Yeah, agreed.
So one of your favorite parts, you got to talk about the babysitter storyline with little Julian.
I wish I remember all the jokes though.
I know.
I'm going to butcher it. But it is my favorite because it is like, it's such a modern day take on like babysitting versus like when you look back to like the 1978 version,
it's not
right?
as innocent.
Right, they're so innocent. The kids are so good, and this kid's just like cracking one-liners and jokes. And he's like, "Man, I thought we were friends." Like, and he's like cutting his nails and shit.
He threatens he's gonna tell his parents that she's having her boyfriend over so she can have sex and smoke weed.
Right. Whereas in the other episode, the kids are all just like, "All right, it's
time for
bedtime,"
bed. Yeah.
and then they just act like hoes after. But this kid's just like calling it out, like, "You think I don't know? I know."
It is great,
and that's how you know it was Danny McBride writing it.
Totally. Yeah. And this is kind of what I mean about, you know, when I was talking about the father-son scene and how it's like they didn't give us anything to care about the characters. This scene with Julian and Vicky, the babysitter, it's not a long scene, but they have so much charm injected into their relationship that you care about these characters.
Yep.
So that's just the inconsistency here in the writing that, like, I just feel like this could have been amazing.
Yeah, the first one could have been as simple as like maybe the mother's ill and they're on the way to the hospital, or like they just lost their mother and like this kid, the dad is the only thing he had. Like some little, like
give me some
that
little
conversation
backstory
in the car would have said it enough, and that's all you needed.
Yeah, that would have been awesome, because then we would have had more instances of Michael taking characters away from us that we like.
Yeah,
and it's
more
like,
innocent people being a casualty.
And I feel like that's, I guess in a way they feel like audiences want to root for the slasher. So they tend to not want the victims to be likable, because they almost want you to keep rooting for him to kill more people.
I guess.
And I feel like it's such the wrong way to go about it, because if you actually made me care about the characters that you're killing, I'm more invested in your movie, because now I want more than ever for my characters to survive the evil.
I disagree with that perception, because when I'm watching, it is more about the like, no, don't open the door. Like, so you're not rooting for them to kill more. You're kind of like rooting for the next scene and how it's going to play out, and like, will they or won't they die in the scene? Like, it's more about that. Like, is this going to be their last scene, or will they get out of this one? It's not like I'm like, yeah, kill that bitch. Like,
well, sometimes that does
sometimes
happen.
I am. Yeah. There's definitely been movies where I'm like, just
and don't get me wrong, you need some of that too.
Oh yeah, 100%. You always need the person where you're like, yeah, I'm tired of you. Like, like the doctor in this. Like, you're like, yeah, it's time for you to go, sir.
I do love the addition of Laurie's granddaughter, Allison, played by Andy Matichak. She is, I thought it was just like, it's a great compliment for Laurie.
Yeah.
And that, like, because we kind of have this generational gap between them where, Laurie kind of inadvertently abused her daughter, Karen, right? Yep. Because she was so paranoid about Michael Myers, and Karen grew up in this environment where everything was Fort Knox around her. She had to learn how to shoot guns at a really young age. It sort of fucked her up. She wanted
just like the white picket fence life, far away from that.
Exactly.
For her daughter.
And that's what it is. She goes sort of the opposite of her mother, and she tries to preach, like, don't be afraid of the world. Like, there's not a monster around every corner. The boogeyman
doesn't exist. He's not coming back.
And then you get her daughter, Allison, now with Laurie, is like, okay, I'm fully now cemented in this world with these people, because that generational dynamic between them, it varies just enough where like there's a perfect balance.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that you can have Jamie Lee Curtis carry a whole movie like this by herself anymore.
No, probably not. I mean, I think like it is nice as an aside, but back to your point earlier of like, you're gonna have a whole movie about someone who's been sitting on this for 40 years. Yeah. Like, there's no story there. Right.
And the addition of her daughter and her granddaughter, I feel like that's an extension of her character. Like, it really rounds things out for, okay, now I'm back invested in Laurie's story, because I see this aftermath in her life that needs to be corrected. Like, there's a wrong there that needs to be right. So I think that part of the writing is perfect. And I love this new storyline. Is really cool.
Agreed.
When we get to the house, the culmination of this movie, it's insane.
Yeah. Well, this is where now you really see what she's been spending 40 years doing.
It's wild. Like the compartment thing in the basement.
I mean, I don't even think that's the most wild thing. I think the wild thing is
but
when,
how
like,
genius is it? Like, you have a kitchen island.
Yeah.
And you have like this little mechanism that like opens it up, and it's just like a bunker down there.
It's like a 1982 Atari controller, like it might as well have a joystick. Like, it has an antenna on it and shit.
It's
and she's
so
like,
analog, yeah.
And it's like this giant box thing, but then it's like they leave it on the counter when they go under there.
Yeah, he could just open it.
Yeah, now he can just open it. I know there's a switch down there, but like, don't leave it.
Although
he just drove here.
I wonder though if that was the point, because at the end of that they kind of revealed that they wanted him down there.
I guess
she even says, she's like, this is not a bunker, it's a trap.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. Like, they wanted to trap him down there and then burn the house down.
Yeah.
So again, that's a nice little switcheroo thing. Like, I almost wonder if that's not really a flaw. Like, maybe they wanted him to use the button and follow them down there.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I love the set piece of the house. I love the suspense of Laurie going through the house, and because she's got the booby trap, so she can just, I guess, trap him in if she needs to. She has like a little thing that she hits.
That's my favorite thing.
And the steel trap door.
She clears the room and she's like, all right, he's not in here. Close this one up. Yeah. And it's like, it's actually pretty genius.
It is.
Like, it's a genius way to be like, all right, there's only so many places he could be. I got to check each one and lock it down.
Yeah. And if I did happen to miss him and he is in this room, well, now he's
locked in there anyway, and I'm still going to burn it down.
Awesome. So that's pretty much how they end this one. It's sort of on like a to be continued, right? Because they escape from the house and the house is burning down now with Michael in it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, all right, well, now we're on to Halloween Kills. Like, obviously, Michael gets out of the house.
This was your favorite.
Does he do it?
Because you're like, I just can't wait to see how the fuck he's getting out of here. Yes. Like, he is trapped in this basement, staring into the flames.
He's dead.
It makes no sense. He has to die. He has to burn. Even if he doesn't fully burn, he has to die of smoke inhalation.
You would think. But apparently he's not down there as long as we
No.
As long as we imagine.
He has the trap. So the same little door that she has in each of the rooms is in that basement. I'm assuming to save herself, maybe, if like she's, trapped down there. Yep. But he somehow knows it's there and finds it.
He's a smart guy.
He is a smart... Clearly. Like, lots of things Mike Myers is a savant at, clearly.
So, yeah. The best part of this movie is how it opens. Mm-hmm. I fucking loved it. I even think I said out loud, that was fucking awesome.
It was.
Watched it.
He is. I mean, he went ham as fuck. Like...
The flashback to old Michael from 1978, a young Michael Myers. Mm-hmm. They take you right back into the movie, it feels like.
Yeah, it was so well done. It made the movie so promising.
It really did. Like, they nailed the lighting. They nailed the look. Mm-hmm.
He's like extra savage.
He's extra savage. And this is, I guess, what happens after Michael falls out of the window and like runs away. We see like what happens when he runs away and how he got kidnapped, how he got captured in the first place, which is just, it was so cool. And the Dr. Loomis thing, that looked amazing.
I mean, they did makeup. I remember we were watching it and I said to you, is that like a deep fake? And you were like, yeah.
I thought it had to be a deep fake.
And then I saw a post on IG from someone who follows us. And it was like, no, it's makeup. And I was like, shut the front door. Like, that looks legit.
Yes. It looked so good. I guess people were complaining it didn't sound like him, but I don't know that I would have picked up his voice.
Yeah, like really how often are you listening to Dr. Loomis that you're like, that isn't his resonance?
Yeah. I bet you if you played it for me, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's Dr. Loomis. But
yeah, I'm sure if you went back and did like, here's Dr. Loomis, here's deepfake Dr. Loomis,
right, I'd be able
you would
to
find
tell
it. But in the moment, it was great. And I was just like, shit, how'd they do that?
Yeah. They do something here too with like, there's a kid character that we go back and find, like, he trips and he sees Michael Myers, but Mike Myers doesn't kill him. He's like a survivor of Michael Myers. Mm-hmm. And this is like, because this flashback then sets us right back up for like, okay, we're picking right up from when we last saw Michael in the flaming house. Mm-hmm. And there's like this group of people that are like banding together as Michael Myers survivors. Like there's like this Mike Myers survival group. Like
there'll be a fucking group for anything.
Yeah.
I'm a survivor of not dying after choking on cereal. And you'll find like 5 people to meet you in that group.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is a little weird because they're really stretching out this tragedy that happened 40 fucking years ago.
Well, again, yeah, it's like,
all of these people are hung up on it.
Like, we can move on. He was locked up.
None of them have. No. And you would think if like, all right, maybe I could buy Lori, right? She really had it rough.
But again, if he
wasn't... all of these people to be this traumatized by it?
But he was locked up. And it was obviously known that he was locked up. He had a doctor overseeing him. So it's like, I get you like being flashbacks and like all that stuff. But like to live in fear, but he was locked up. Like you knew he was there, and if he ever got out, it was going to be national news. So like you can live your life. He's not coming to get you.
I know. You would know.
That's what I mean.
It's
like it's like if Jeffrey Dahmer got out, the world would be like, yo, Jeffrey Dahmer's out.
We got to be on the lookout.
Nobody go to the club. Especially if you're gay, run. Like that's what the media would do. Like same thing with Mike Myers.
No, you're 100% right.
Hide your teens, hide your kids, because he's slashing everybody up in here.
So whatever, this group, they plan on going after Michael and killing him.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, we're sick of hiding and worrying about.
We're going.
Like it's so lame.
It's like the old villagers kind of like idea. Like we're gonna get our fucking torches and our pitchforks, and we're like, no, we're taking our town back.
That is
and it's
what it feels like. It's like when they're going after the beast with Gaston.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's relevant.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe this is just one big ripoff of Beauty and the Beast.
Maybe different spin.
But holy shit, the firefighter scene.
So there were people raging on social media about this. Like,
really?
There's a petition about, again, because people just want to whine about everything.
Oh, no.
Like how it's unbelievable that we would slaughter all these firefighters in a movie. And it's like, are you serious right now? How many cops die in horror movies? You didn't give a shit about that. How many kids die in horror movies?
Everybody dies in horror movies.
Yes, everyone. It's an equal opportunity death.
Listen,
like that's how it goes.
I understand. Like, yeah, they're firefighters. Like, they're
not real.
They should be respected. Like, it's a respectable. But that's kind of what makes it more brutal, right? Is like, I'm not just
These are
watching
trained people.
Yeah, I'm not just watching Michael Myers just like kill some innocent housewife.
These are strong ass people.
He's destroying like physically fit firefighters. Easily.
People who have to literally run in, up and down stairs, carrying full bodies of people that are dead weight. Like,
yeah, that is purely a story mechanism to show me this guy is fucking powerful.
Yes, you need these types of references to like show just how insane this guy's strength is.
Yeah, it's not that's so people like took that as like they're disrespecting firefighters.
Oh yeah,
no.
There's a petition.
That's ridiculous.
People are like, oh yeah, we're just gonna scrap the movie. Why? Because Sonic the Hedgehog looked like shit and people cried about it, and so they scrapped that. Like, a little different here. Nobody cares. Like, just don't watch it.
Yeah, then just don't watch it. Just change the channel.
Yeah,
like,
but this is the world we live in now. Like, you complain about it enough, and so it'll change. And it's like, no, this is a movie. This isn't real.
Right, exactly.
This isn't something we have to
Honestly,
fix.
This is like one of my favorite Michael Myers scenes ever. I think it's dope.
Oh, 100%. I mean, look, our brother-in-law is a firefighter. He's not whining about it. He would think it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I should ask him what he thinks.
Yeah, we should.
He'll be like, bro, I don't give a fuck.
He's like, Michael Myers probably kicked my ass too. That's what he'd be saying to us.
Oh my God. So I don't know. This movie after this though, I don't like it anymore. There's so much of the hospital. What is the fucking hospital?
Yeah, it really starts on a high note and then it just torpedoes downhill. Like, I really wanted, maybe we have to watch it again and not be so critical. I think now with this pod, we're a lot more critical when we watch.
Yeah,
I think we're a little less like viewing for enjoyment and we're more like viewing to talk about it. And so I feel like I have to watch it with my brain off. Like, just watch it.
Maybe. Listen, this one is nowhere near as good as the 2018 one, I don't think.
The 2018 one is strong.
Yeah.
Like, we obviously made jokes about it because, again, that's what we do. But it's a strong movie. Like, I still enjoy it.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's as good as the 1978 for, like, the time gap and, like, all of that. Like, I think it holds up.
It does it justice. I don't. It's not as good of a movie, but it does it justice.
The first is still the best. The first will always be the best. Yeah. You can't mess with the original idea. No. But for a sequel,
it's good.
It's great. Yeah. So,
but this one, it's like as all trilogies do, and apparently this isn't a trilogy. There's
going to be a quadrilogy.
What? You just made that up.
Yes. What do you call it?
A Quadrilogy?
Quadrilogy, I said. Don't put an extra R.
A quadrilogy.
Like quad is 4.
That's hard to say.
Ilogy. I said it pretty cleanly. Quadrilogy.
All right. Well, the quadrilogy.
I'm going to coin that now. I'm going to hashtag it. It's mine.
Done.
What were you going to call it then?
I don't know.
Exactly. You didn't have a term, but you knew what I meant.
I didn't have a term, but I did know what you meant.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what we said. If a word, if you say something and I know what it means, even if it's not a word, it should be a word.
It's what I love about the world we live in now is like you can just make up words and they eventually make it to the dictionary.
It's true. If they just catch on.
Yeah. Like, oh, snap is probably in the dictionary somewhere as like can be used as a feeling of
That's like
surprise.
A conjunction, though. This you're talking about. Quadrilogy is just a word.
Well, quadrilogy is, I just use that because that's my word. Oh, snap. My phrase. But you know what I'm saying. Like you can make stuff up now, and as long as it catches on at some point, it'll be in the Webster's dictionary. Quadrilogy, it's going to make it there.
I love it.
I'm going to say that now about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, it's again, it's a lot of fucking hospital. And then we get to the point where they do corner Mike Myers, and they all just like beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. Kick him.
They do everything possible. Don't they stab him?
I mean, you think you just have a gun at that point. Like, didn't someone have a gun?
Did they shoot him? I think they did shoot him.
I don't think so.
I can swear they hit him with everything.
A little blur because it's not the best, but.
I don't know. So I'm like, well, that's it. Like, he's dead. But it's like, no, he's not.
Never.
He's not dead. Like, you just can't kill him. And you get this whole speech about how he's like this inevitable evil, and he's like this enigma that can't ever be stopped, and I'm like, what happened? Like, what is this?
Again, this is where I was saying, like, is he human or is he not human? Because now you went from making me think he's human and at least just he's really smart. He's really smart and calculated, and he's just using all of his brain power to think and not to speak. That's what it feels like with the first two. Then you get to this one and it's like, no, he's a supernatural being and there's no getting rid of him. And it's like, but he can literally take shots. He can be burned.
So, now it's just,
he can be beaten.
There's just no point to anything.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
Well, then it justifies Laurie Strode of like, you have to be ready at all times to at least get him away.
Is the idea of Michael Myers, like, is it meant to be like he is an enigma? Like, he's supposed to represent some greater societal
he's not
evil?
an enigma because he's actually there.
That's what I don't understand, though, is like, but he's not mortal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not mortal. He's Jason in that sense. He kind of goes in that realm. But Jason's like so fucking boring. But at least Mike Myers is like interesting.
I don't know. I hated it. Like I hate that you're gonna do that now because you didn't have to do that.
Well, clearly the writing just wasn't there. Like you should have come up with another like more creative way. I mean, they could have even went the route of like not having him in like every minute of the movie.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like build up the story more and get to your quad. And have the last one kind of really like dig in and it's the end. But I feel like the only way to justify 4 movies in this lineup is like to make him superhuman.
Which is,
how else would you have made it to 4?
Now you're making the exact same mistake that you tried to erase.
Undo. It should have stayed as 3.
Yeah, you're just
give me the beginning, the middle, and the end. I don't need 2 middles.
And the end is that the town finally bands together
and gets him.
And they get him.
And Laurie's plans, her psycho plans, pan out at some point. But like now you just created an extra storyline for no reason. We're just gonna have to cut this one out again.
Why do people they feel the need to just like, let's just keep making the thing because it makes money, knowing
no one
that,
wants to take a shot on new ideas.
That if we keep making the thing, we're just going to keep making the thing worse.
Yes.
And it's like, you could have just made the thing and then walked away and said, there it is. It's these 3 movies.
There was probably...
Take it for what it is now.
Half of this Halloween Kills that could have been combined with half of whatever this next movie will be. That would have made a solid movie.
Probably.
Like that's probably what it like someone maybe that's what you end up doing is you go, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. And you take the 3rd one and you take the 4th one and you edit them yourself as an editor and go, here's how it really should have ended.
Not a bad idea.
Just saying. I feel like that's what's going to happen here.
Well, apparently Jamie Lee Curtis is on record saying that she thinks that Halloween Ends, which is the last movie that comes out next year, she thinks is going to piss everyone off.
It's going to piss everyone. Is Laurie Strode going to die?
I don't know.
She's definitely going to die. I'm going to call it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would piss off people, yeah.
Yeah, because she's the strong female who's made it through all of them, and she's going to die.
It's like a rule you shouldn't break.
Yeah, it's like she's going to die to ultimately kill him. That's what's going to happen.
But it's the most shocking thing that they can do.
That's
it's
it.
The most shocking.
What else?
Yeah.
What else is there? He's lived every time. You're not going to shock me with that.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's not a bad guess.
And he has to die for the series to end. So, calling it now. I can't wait to come back to this and we go. Remember that episode
we'll
32?
Next year talking about this.
Episode 31B?
31.
31B, technically.
No, I said I was going to go back and call them 30A and 30B.
I know, but you can't really, because in the pod we go episode 31. So now this is 31B.
True. Okay.
Oh my God, I bored you.
Yeah, you bored me.
Wow.
All right, let's move on to head-to-head.
Oh, snap.
And we are selecting the best Halloween candy, of course.
But technically we're selecting from the assortment of which I am giving the candies out to the children. Because we don't necessarily have all the Halloween candies. Because when you buy Halloween candy now, you get these mixed bags.
Uh-huh.
And so I do buy a pretty wide array. We do have Swedish Fish. We do have Sour Patch Kids. You've got Starburst, Skittles, M&ms, Laffy Taffy. Lots of different things in here from the gummy end. Then you've got your chocolates. You've got Twix. You've got Milky Way. You've got Snickers. You've got Three Musketeers.
All right, we'll figure it out. I go first.
I know, but there's a lot. I'm just letting you know what's like in the bowl.
All right.
There's also bottle caps.
So we have to
tarts.
assemble the best team of 4 candies here.
Now, the only thing I'm saying is like maybe you want to give a wild card for what's not in here.
What is that? Oh, the Reese's peanut butter cups?
Like, there's other stuff that's not, like, there's not Hershey bars in here.
No, we'll just go with, we have to build with the best of what we have.
Okay, so the best of our specific trick-or-treat bag.
Exactly.
Great. Okay, you get to go first, apparently.
You know, I was just talking about how much I love the gummy stuff. I do love Starburst. But I also, I don't know. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give away. I'm going with Starburst.
You going Starburst first?
You know I love Starburst. Yeah.
Let's see what you get. You got to eat it.
Wait, it depends. Oh, I got a good one.
Did you get a double?
I got pink and I got red. Cherry, strawberry.
Oh,
that's the best you can do.
Yeah, it's the best. Usually it's like you get janked. You get 2 lemons. Just goes right in the trash. All right, so your first is Starburst. That was pretty easy. I already know what mine is going to be. And it's going to be Sour Patch Kids. Of course. I actually love this particular Sour Patch Kids because it's the Oops flavors where, not that one, that's tropical. But these ones, it's like the color may not match the flavor. And it's the Trick or Treat edition. So it's my favorite.
So it's a trick.
So like here's the orange. It's actually orange though. But that's not what always happens. Now I could eat this orange and it may not be orange.
All right.
It's true trick or treat.
I do love. So now I can't pick Sour Patch Kids.
It's mine.
All right. So you can't pick.
Well, you could pick Sour Patch. You could pick like maybe the tropical Sour Patch.
I don't know how I feel about taffy. Who eats that?
I absolutely love those Laffy Taffies.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm. Not this trash banana.
What is this? This is
Snickers.
A baby Snickers?
Yeah, those are the individuals.
Oh, I'm taking Snickers.
Oh, you bitch.
I love Snickers.
I know. That's why I wasn't going to do Sour Patch.
Snickers ice cream bars, one of the best things you can eat.
All right, but you got to talk about why you're picking Snickers at least. Make this interesting. Why is it one of your picks?
What do you mean, why is it one of my picks? Because they're delicious. Why else?
That's it?
Yeah. Well, listen,
Super lame.
I'm obviously going to put chocolate in my lineup, right? You got to have
You got other options in there.
Yeah, but out of these options, Snickers is by far the best. You know it is. You have one you like better?
Yeah.
All right.
I gotta finish my Sour Patch.
You don't have to.
Yes, I do.
Oh my God.
They're so good. Okay. It's Twix, bitch. The cookie crunch.
The cookie crunch.
The caramel. The chocolate is just enough. It's not heavy on the chocolate. Mm-hmm. It is as good as you can get to the Snickers. But
you think it's better? Because of the cookie.
It's so good. Like, you're missing out.
I'm not saying Twix is bad. I don't think it's bad.
No, it's so good.
All right, I'm going to go with another.
This is giving me real good vibes.
Oh, there's no gummy bears in here?
No, they don't make gummy bears and trick or treats like this. I have to only buy a bag of gummy bears, and then I'm in trouble. I'm going to eat the whole thing.
That's terrible.
We got Skittles and M&ms.
M&ms suck.
What?
Yeah.
We're going to lose.
I'm going to lose because I don't like M&Ms?
You don't like any of the good candies.
I'm going Swedish Fish.
That's a good one.
So I have Starburst, Snickers, and Swedish Fish. Mm-hmm. That's a tough one to beat. You got Sour Patch and Twix.
First of all, people
I think
love
you're
Twix.
a little more unorthodox than me right now.
These are definitely candies that I was like, if I went to your house and you put these in my little pillowcase or my large pillowcase, because everybody knows when we were kids, trick-or-treating was a different vibe. I was happy as shit. Now, if you came to your house and you gave me fucking pretzels, I was angry.
I would love pretzels.
No way.
Loved it.
I'm not out trick-or-treating for pretzels.
I've never gotten pretzels.
You never got little bags of like Utz pretzels? Oh my
No,
God.
I would have loved that.
Always did.
No.
Maybe it was my neighborhood thing. I don't know.
That's dope.
This is tough now.
And you're complaining about that.
Yeah, I don't want that. As a kid, I don't want fucking pretzels.
That's absurd.
No, you're absurd. Weirdo who doesn't like candy.
Salt is better.
All right. This is a very tough decision. My next one. My next one is Skittles.
Fine.
Taste the rainbow.
I'm fine with that. So you only have one chocolate.
For now. I have one more pick. This is a very calm head-to-head. Shockingly.
That's because we're eating candy. We're satisfied.
This is a real shit bag of Skittles. I got fucking 2 greens and 2 yellows.
All right. This is where my lack of candy knowledge is gonna.
What are you doing?
Is this a Three Musketeers?
That's what you're gonna choose? You're choosing 3
I
Musketeers?
don't see. This is my problem. Is I don't remember
Do you want me to educate you?
what these are.
You want me to educate?
I know. I feel like I like either Milky Way or Three Musketeers, but I don't know which is which.
3 Musketeers is nougat.
What is nougat? What is that?
Exactly. And Milky Way is just more like a Snickers without the nuts. Essentially.
It's just chocolate and caramel.
Pretty much.
I think I like the Three Musketeers.
You're really playing Russian roulette here. Luckily for you, there's other options for me. So if you want to eat them to decide, we did not make that not a rule. So you can eat both and make your decision.
No, I'm going with the Three Musketeers.
I think you just made a poor decision.
All right.
Nobody likes 3 Musketeers.
Nobody?
That's why it's the most in that bag, because nobody wants it. They're trying to make it a thing.
It's delicious.
It's disgusting.
This is absolutely what I wanted.
It's disgusting. Mm-hmm. Ew. You just lost.
No way.
Yeah.
This is good.
That's trash.
I
Trash
prefer
can.
a Charleston Chew, though. But
I don't even know if they do those anymore.
those are great.
I always look for like really good mixes of candy, but what happens is these mixed bags, then it's like, all right, if I want this bag, I'm just going to double up now more on more fucking Milky Ways in it in order to get the Charleston Chew. And it's like, I don't want more Milky Ways. Like,
You just want to buy Charleston Chew.
yeah.
Yeah, we need like Charleston Chew. You need Almond Joy up in here. Like,
Yeah.
where's my chocolate coconut?
But again, it's like in order to do the bag that got me Snickers and Twix, it came with 3 Musketeers and Milky Way, which I don't want. And then the bag that has Almond Joy in it has more fucking Milky Ways and 3 Musketeers.
So they're just
I don't
giving
want it.
away
Yeah,
Milky
because nobody
Ways.
wants those. They're like, we gotta push production of these. Come on, Get more people on the Milky Way.
There you go. I'm a fan, so you could throw them my way.
Maybe they'll sponsor us now because you actually chose them.
What's your last pick?
My last pick is going to be the tried and true M&ms.
Yuck.
No,
That is the most disgusting thing by far in all of this.
How?
That's the last thing I would eat.
Why?
The candy shell, I want to throw up.
You like Skittles.
I don't really like Skittles. No.
You're like putting on a front for this pod right now.
No, they're not. You know what? I don't think I like them anymore. I used to be more into them. I don't like them anymore.
All I'm saying is, I know that my candy choices.
I hate your picks. I absolutely hate them.
My candy choices on this table have only grown the affinity for trick-or-treating at our house. So I know that I'm not wrong here.
All right.
There's other options in here we did not even explore, such as...
That's fine.
Bottle caps.
I don't even know what that is.
Bottle caps is a vintage standby. You will hate this. If you are a Sweet Tarts fan, bottle caps are...
I used to like Sweet Tarts.
Like soda flavored.
Oh.
No, I know that sounds gross, but not really. They're just a different flavor of Sweet Tart. Like Sweet Tart is more sour. These are more just straight up sweet.
I like the sour part, though.
All right. Well, then there's Sweet Tarts in there for you, my friend.
These
are great. Yeah. You didn't dig enough. You wouldn't let me explain what your options were.
These are everlasting gobstoppers.
That's gobstoppers.
Gobstoppers.
Right here.
Sweet Tarts.
I enjoy the bottle cap. But I know it's controversial, so I didn't pick it.
Can I substitute Sweet Tarts?
No.
But I didn't know what Three Musketeers was.
I gave you an option, and you said, no,
can I use it now?
Doubling down.
That I know that we have Sweet Tarts?
No. You made your pick. Three Musketeers better make or break it for you.
You're right. I made my pick. It was Sweet Tarts.
No, you didn't.
That's what I picked.
Just because you edit this podcast.
I picked it just now.
No.
As my last pick.
That's not your last pick. We already did our last pick. You're trying to cheat.
Honestly, you know what? These suck.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah.
Bottle caps are better, hands down.
Three Musketeers is better.
You're gross.
Looks like chalk.
I want you to eat this. Just for the fun of it.
No.
Come on.
No shot.
Just do it. It's like the eggnog thing.
What? No, it's not.
Yeah, it's like you don't know what it is, and now it'll be funny for you to eat it.
I will get 10 cavities immediately.
Just eat this
in my mouth.
You just ate Sweet Tarts, which is just literally congealed sugar. It's basically a sugar cube that you just were like, yes, I want this. Eat the taffy.
Why are you making me eat taffy?
Because it's funny. Because I need you to. I'm going to eat the good flavor.
Are you poisoning me with this taffy?
I put razor blades in it.
I can't
Rule of trick-or-treating.
This is disgusting.
Check your treats. You don't have to eat the whole thing.
How am I going to be able to talk?
Just eat it.
Ew.
Yeah. Why is that a thing?
That's disgusting. You like that?
I only like the pink one.
Even like the texture of this.
It's so good.
It's so weird. How do I swallow it? How do you swallow this? It's just gumming around in my mouth.
This is exactly why I wanted you to eat it.
How do you... I can't swallow it.
Just swallow it.
Yeah.
What's happening? I didn't know it was going to be this controversial.
I couldn't swallow it.
I'm here for it.
That's horrible, babe. Oh. My eyes are watering. All right. Well, let's wrap this up. I had Starburst, Snickers, Swedish Fish, and Three Musketeers. I won.
No, with the Three Musketeers, you didn't win shit.
No.
Nobody is picking that. It's only in here because I have no choice.
What do you have again?
I have Sour Patch Kids, Champ, Twix, Money, M&Ms, legit,
Shit,
classic,
dog shit.
classic.
And that's it.
And Skittles.
And Skittles. All right.
Yeah, I got all the things.
All right, well, hopefully this
Sour,
one won't
sweet.
end 50-50 again because we didn't even get a winner last time.
No.
And I thought I crushed you in that.
I know. It's ridiculous. How dare anyone watch that story and not vote? You're risking precious wins here.
Terrible.
We have a lot of ties.
All right. Well, that's it.
Mark's over it.
Have a happy Halloween.
This is like the most laid back Halloween episode possible.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little too much.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You've been very calm.
I told you your picks were dog shit. Was that not good enough for you?
Anyway, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. And look out next week because we might just have some interesting surprises to share from our party. We didn't even talk about that.
100% we will.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why we're not wearing costumes on
Yeah,
this.
we probably should have prefaced that at the beginning of the pod.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we couldn't wear costumes because we're actually doing Mark and Dee's Halloween extravaganza this year. And we can't reveal it before the party. So you'll have to wait until the next episode to see.
Gotcha. It's exciting.
Anyway.
Anyway, what? I'm excited.
We gotta close it out.
Oh. Well, I thought that's what you were doing.
You gotta do the line.
All right. Well, then remember.
Oh, my God. We don't give awards for art or this podcast, apparently.